Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to completely shift how you view heartbreak by looking at the definitive biological timeline of leaving a toxic relationship. Look, if you've ever felt completely trapped by a relationship that you logically knew was harmful, you are exactly in the right place. We're going to map out exactly what's happening inside your brain and your body.
Okay, so let's dive right in by validating a really profound struggle. That intense, almost physical inability to walk away. It isn't a character flaw, and it certainly isn't a weakness. What you're actually experiencing is a neurochemical withdrawal. Your brain is just responding exactly as it's designed to when it's exposed to a very specific set of conditions.
To help soothe your nervous system right now, we're going to follow this exact diagnostic roadmap together. We'll cover 1. The toxic relationship addiction. 2. The 90-day timeline. 3. Phase 1. The crisis. 4. Rewriting and stabilization. And finally, 5. Neuroplasticity and healing.
Section 1. The toxic relationship addiction. We begin by diagnosing the root cause of the emotional chaos, looking at exactly what kept you hooked in the first place.
It all comes down to intermittent reinforcement. You see, alternating between warmth and sudden withdrawal keeps your brain hyper-focused on earning that next moment of connection. This actually traces back to psychologist B.F. Skinner. He found that animals worked way harder and were much more persistent for treats that were delivered at random intervals rather than every single time. So in a relationship, when you never really know when that next positive, affectionate response is coming, the uncertainty itself becomes intensely motivating. You just keep trying, hoping, and waiting.
And this dynamic brilliantly illustrates how your nervous system gets completely trapped. When your partner suddenly becomes distant or critical, your body floods with cortisol. That's your primary stress hormone. Your heart races and you feel genuine physical distress. But then comes the reconciliation. Your partner returns with warmth and your brain releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. The relief is absolutely overwhelming. Over time, your brain associates this specific person with both intense distress and intense relief, which creates a really powerful traumatic bond.
Just like a slot machine, your brain isn't responding to a deep, stable connection anymore. It's reacting to unpredictable dopamine hits that literally force you to chase the reward. Dopamine is actually the pursuit chemical. It motivates you to go after things, right? When your partner's kindness is totally unpredictable, your brain releases far more dopamine during those good moments than it ever would in a consistently loving relationship. You essentially become addicted to the hope that the real version of them, the loving version, is going to stay permanently.
Section 2. The 90-day timeline. Now that we understand the addiction and the chemistry behind it, let's map out the definitive biological timeline for your recovery.
This timeline proves your pain is temporary and honestly, perfectly predictable. Your brain has been conditioned to expect these unpredictable rewards, and it doesn't just stop craving them just because you made a logical decision to leave. Knowing this roadmap across the next 12 weeks is absolutely crucial to helping you stay the course.
Section 3. Phase 1. The crisis. These first 7 days are essentially a biological emergency.
When the panic hits, you have to remember this simple truth to remove the shame. This is just dopamine withdrawal. You might feel desperate to reach out, totally convinced that this time is going to be different. But what you're actually experiencing is just your brain going through a literal withdrawal from the chaotic neurochemical hits it had grown so accustomed to. During this first week, your nervous system is convinced that you need to reconnect just to survive. Your brain is frantically searching for its familiar chemical reward. You might experience changes in your appetite, severe sleep disruption, and this magnetic, almost gravitational pull toward your phone. You'll probably bargain with yourself thinking, well, maybe just one text wouldn't hurt. Listen, this excruciating discomfort is completely normal, but I promise you, it is temporary. As you enter weeks 2 to 4, which is the peak craving period, those obsessive thoughts are really going to peak. Your mind will play the good moments on a continuous loop while completely minimizing the painful ones. But remember, this is just your conditioned brain demanding its fix. This is exactly when your support systems matter the most. You have to remind yourself that these intense cravings are a symptom of your biological conditioning. They are not evidence that the relationship was meant to be.
Section 4. Rewriting and stabilization. Moving into the second month, the acute physical pain starts to fade, but a brand new psychological challenge emerges.
During weeks 5 to 8, your brain actually tries to trick you by minimizing the bad times. Doubt starts creeping in. You start asking yourself things like, did I give up too easily? Or, was it really even that bad?
This is exactly why keeping a concrete record, like journaling specific, factual incidents rather than just vague feelings, is your absolute best defense until stabilization arrives in weeks 9 to 12, and you can finally see that chaotic cycle for what it truly was.
Section 5. Neuroplasticity and lifelong healing. Finally, let's explore the biological cure that guarantees your recovery if you just stay the course.
This is the science of hope. Your attachment style and your trauma bonds are not a life sentence because your brain is constantly updating itself. Yes, your relational blueprint was written early on, but neuroplasticity means that through new, consistent experiences, you can literally rewire your brain for security. It's like a giant puzzle you get to put back together, piece by piece. Using the both-and reframe, as beautifully stated by licensed therapist Annie Wright, we acknowledge that your intense pain and your past are entirely valid, while also claiming the power to build what psychologists call earned secure attachment. It's really about integrating your past into a much larger, more compassionate narrative.
And that brings us to how that rewiring actually happens. Therapy and safe relationships offer what we call co-regulation. First, we need someone with a regulated nervous system to help us feel safe. Over time, as we internalize this reliable, attuned experience, it slowly helps our biology develop true, lasting self-regulation. We literally learn how to soothe ourselves by first being safely soothed by others.
But you have to be patient with yourself. You aren't failing when healing feels slow. You are simply operating on biology's natural timeline. Dr. Daniel Siegel points out that attachment behaviors live in implicit memory, deep in brain structures like the amygdala that operate way below conscious thought. The synaptic pathways laid down over years don't just update from a single realization. They require the slow, repetitive accumulation of new, safe relational experiences.
The 90-day reset proves that your brain is fundamentally built to heal. Your attachment wasn't a flaw. It was your nervous system brilliantly trying to survive unpredictability. Which leaves us with one final, exciting question to think about. If you give your brain consistency, safety, and time, just how profound will your earned security become?